Phytobiophysics, the Mossop Philosophy. This philosophy is an understanding of the wonderful use of plants to restore balance and harmony to people on all levels of consciousness: the spiritual level, the emotional level, the mental level, and the physical level. Using the infinite energy of plants to restore energy, to restore the vibrations which get knocked and bashed and disturbed by all the complications of toxicity in modern society. Emotions are very toxic as well, and it's very surprising that when we are hurt and cruelly wounded with emotional disorders, we often fall extremely ill. There's a wonderful word to describe harmony and health, and really and truly the opposite of that harmony and health is disharmony and dis-ease. We are very sick in modern society, and it's becoming increasingly worrying that there are many, many pressures on people, both physical and spiritual. Our philosophy is based on understanding each person as an individual. The extraordinary concept that many people suffer with a particular illness, but there are many causal factors. The underlying cause of illness lies deeply in our hearts and souls. It is linked with tragedies which go back in time, possibly to when we were babies, or even possibly to our ancestors. Illnesses that we carry into this world as a result of ancestral inheritance. Illnesses that our parents carry, distress and trauma. There's a very interesting new research into the concept of epigenetics. There is a very, very interesting concept here. Epigenetics is the way our bodies develop in particular shapes or particular habits or formations as a result of the extraordinary experiences of our ancestors. If you just stop for 1 minute and think about something extraordinary, if it wasn't for the fact that all our ancestors have survived long enough to have a baby, we simply wouldn't be here. And so if you can understand that the memory of the genome is embedded in our soul, is embedded in the way our bodies form, embedded in the shapes that we are, and the sex and every single feature that we have, every single characteristic that we present in our lives, it's about our constitution. Constitution is very, very complex and is based on many layers. Constitution is about me. And there's a very key word here. Who am I? Who am I? And what is my purpose in life? Why am I me? Do you know, that's a very, very powerful comment. It's a very, very interesting sentence. Why am I here? What is the world all about? And what would happen to the world if there was no me? These are complicated questions that little children frequently ask. And I find it very puzzling to work out why and what would happen to the people around us if anything happened to us. Health is extraordinary. There is an extremely interesting concept of vibrational medicine, which is international, worldwide. And there are very many practices in modern society that are involved with vibrational medicine. Of course, the most ancient that we all know about is acupuncture. Acupuncture goes back and back and back for thousands and millennia, thousands of years, and frankly speaking, probably even further than we could possibly imagine. When you see great cities like Angkor Wat and these extraordinary pyramids and the remains of ancient cities around the world, and realize that there was an incredibly advanced civilizations living in the world, we often fancy that we're modern and clever. But frankly speaking, we've lost a huge amount of knowledge and ability to remember, ability to understand. And, you know, we often think that we are superior to our ancestors, but I think sometimes we should stop and think again, because there is an enormous amount of lost information. Our constitution is based on many factors, but the fact is that these layers upon layers upon layers make us extraordinary. We are incredible. And if you think about even that little tiny cell in the human body, generated from a sperm and an ovum into an extraordinary little baby, a perfect little baby, each time a baby comes into the world, nature is so clever, it creates perfection. 5 little fingers and 5 little toes, and an extraordinarily beautiful human being. That's a miracle. In fact, we're surrounded by miracles every single day of our lives. But the really interesting thing is that there are many, many, many things that can go wrong in the human body and create disorder, disease, and frankly speaking, discomfort, which of course we would regard as pain. Pain is a very powerful word, and extreme pain, agonizing, excruciating pain, can take us to the very edge of our lives. Pain is difficult to describe. There are many, many levels of pain. You know, one can trip over a little rock and bump your toe and stub it, and for a few seconds it's excruciating, and then it disappears. That's interesting as well, because what has happened here is that a signal has been sent from the point of contact, the nerve endings, into the brain to stimulate hormone release, a hormone called endorphin. Endorphin is a very complex hormone. It's very, very physical. And it's really interesting that every aspect of our physical lives is linked with the production of endorphin. Endorphin is not just for pain, it can also be for pleasure. Little children, when they're tickled, that's a stimulation of endorphin. When you make love and you stroke someone that you love or touch them, kiss them, that's also stimulating a hormone called endorphin. And these hormones are extraordinarily important in the brain hormone pathways. And frankly speaking, it is a fascinating thing to realize that we in life are connected to our environment through these extremely powerful signals. It is important, vibrational medicine. I want to talk a great deal more about vibrational medicine. And it is absolutely fascinating that vibrational medicine is a broad spectrum term. I've mentioned acupuncture, but there are many, many other ways of working with people with the vibration of our surroundings. Phytobiophysics is also vibrational medicine. With our remedies and our essences, what we've done, our formulas, is captured the vibration of plants in water with the old traditional method, and this extraordinary method of working with the vibration of plants to bring about a change in the frequencies of the human energy field is certainly not new, any more than acupuncture is. In fact, working with the energy of plants is timelessly, timelessly old. We live with plants. We can't survive without plants. We eat them. We live with them as food. We live with plants that are food for animals, and we eat the animals that eat the food. We live with plants, and we're surrounded by plants. They create oxygen and fresh air. They create essences. They create vitamins and minerals, and they convert the nutrients in the soil into organic substances that our bodies can make use of. We are not separate from our planet. The moment we try to separate ourselves from our planet, that is when we become diseased, disharmonized. The fact is that vibrational medicine is the medicine of today. It was certainly the medicine of yesterday, and it will be the medicine of the future, not just as complementary or alternative, but as fundamental, powerful medicine that is capable of dealing with one of mankind's most common traumatic circumstances. That is virus. Viruses are desperately, desperately dangerous, and they are on the increase as we mess about with genetic modification and incredibly dangerous experiments with animal tissues and animal matter. The more we mess with nature, the sicker we make ourselves and the iller we get, the more our environment is disharmonized, the more ill we are. It is a sad fact that unless we understand vibrational medicine and the power of vibrational medicine, we will continue to fall sicker and sicker and sicker. This is really just a short introduction to the philosophy of Phytobiophysics, vibrational medicine, the medicine of today.